everybody, it's Mickie Giacomini, your host of Let's Talk Shop, the show that brings you successful people sharing amazing successful stories and tips for people like you. Today I have with us Darcy Geho. That's right, she is the blogger, the writer, the amazing, successful person that is writing Preserving My Sanity. So we love her. We all want to preserve our sanity, right? She writes about so many different things in her blog and has so many fans, and she is quite the success story and why she does her blog. So I'm so excited to bring her on and share with you. So Darcy, how are you?
Hi, Mickie. I'm doing great. How are you today?
Great. Even better now that you're here. So excited. You know, I'm here in hotter than Hades, Northern California, where it's like we're just sweating to death. And where are you coming from?
My husband and I live in Southwest Minnesota, so it's actually quite a bit cooler here today. I think it was about 75 or so. It's kind of starting to feel like fall, actually.
So jealous. Jealous. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Well, enjoy, because you could be here sweating to death. So we're so excited to learn more about your blog, and I just want you to share with everybody, what is the backstory? How did Preserving My Sanity come to be?
Well, I actually started blogging about 10 years ago. It was a personal blog that I really just shared with my friends and family, and I never really found a whole lot of time to blog. I always wanted to do it a little bit more regularly, and my job always, kind of got in the way. I never had enough time. I guess that's a lot of people's problem, but a few years ago, actually like 2 years ago, I just decided that I wanted to kind of step back into it and do it more regularly and put more effort and time into it. So I brainstormed a name, and it took me a little while actually to come up with preservingmysanity.com. If anybody's tried to name a blog or a business, you know that a lot of the good ideas you come up with are already taken. So it took me a little bit of brainstorming, and I wanted it to be a combination of the things I love to do, including food preservation and cooking and things like that. But I also wanted it to kind of have a double meaning where anything really can be preserving your sanity, whatever it is. So I'm not only writing about food preservation in the literal sense, preserving, but also if I want to write about yoga or walking my dogs or cooking or anything else that I like, it also ties into the name. So that's kind of how I came up with my name.
Well, that is the beauty of owning your own blog. You do have control over the content, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and you can write about what you want. I mean, a lot of times your fans are going to come to you for that particular type of content that you write, but you do have that flexibility. I know you were sharing with me earlier about your journey in blogging from when you were a beginner blogger to becoming a more advanced blogger. Can you share your story? Because there's probably a lot of us out there that can totally relate to you.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I actually, when I started my blog, at that time, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it was pretty common for people to use blogger.com. So that's where I set up my blog, and it worked fine. But then a couple years ago, when I was going to expand it, I did some research and saw that a lot of people were actually using WordPress. And I had some personal experience with WordPress in my job at the time. So it just seemed like the logical thing to do to move it from Blogger over to WordPress. Where I actually went wrong is I moved it from blogger.com over to wordpress.com, not realizing that you actually want to move it to wordpress.org, which is a self-hosted platform. It gives you a lot more control over your website. So I actually got to move my blog twice. I moved it from Blogger to wordpress.com to wordpress.org. So I'm pretty good at migrating blogs over now at this point.
It is not an easy feat to do that. So for you beginners out there, Blogger is great, but when you are more advanced, go to wordpress.org. Org. We cannot say it enough. And I laugh because I personally went through the same nightmare you did. It's not an easy feat. So she's being all humble and all right now, But let me tell you, when you decide to switch over to WordPress, it's a lot more daunting. There's a little more coding and all that goes into it. And so if you're getting it all nice and set up and it's beautiful and wonderful, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I was supposed to be an org, it's just a nightmare. So I applaud you for surviving that and preserving your sanity there.
Thank you.
So you kind of shared a little bit about the preserves. You wanted to write about that, and yoga and dog walking and all those great things. So I'm kind of curious, when we talk about preserves, why preserves? What is it about preserves that just...
I really enjoy food preservation. I've been preserving things for, again, probably about 10 years or so. Started out with jam and pickles. That's a pretty standard thing for people to start out with, doing hot water bath things. I graduated into pressure canning things as I got comfortable, also dehydrating. I've recently gotten more comfortable with fermenting things, which is
really?
a different process, and it's still a little intimidating for me, but I'm getting better at it and more comfortable. Then I try, actually, that's kind of what I try to portray in my blog, is that anybody can really do these things, and you just have to try it. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff either until I did it. So I try to kind of incorporate that into my writing too, that, you know, people shouldn't be afraid to do it. So hopefully that's what they can gain from my blogs, is that, you know, I want to help them learn how to do it. I'm happy to answer any questions, things like that.
I think that's so fantastic, because you're encouraging people to take safe risks, right? Push their comfort zones. And at the same time, in my humble opinion, I feel like you're bringing to the forefront something that's almost a lost art anymore. There's not a lot of people that actually do all that canning. I'm in my apron today. I wore it in your honor. So, and I can when I can, but I don't have a lot of time. And I, like you know, the jams and jellies and all that, usually for gifts and so forth. But again, not too many people that I personally know are really into that anymore. It's kind of been lost in this generational area. I think there's a couple generations that have forgotten that it's such a great thing to do, and it helps you to be a little bit more on the self-sustaining side. So
absolutely. My husband and I both try to live as naturally as we can, as sustainably as we can. We have chickens as well. He's a hunter and a fisherman, so he brings home a lot of meat and fish that we eat, and, you know, the food preservation too. So it's just, we have a big garden in the summer when we can here. We can't have, you know, it's kind of a short gardening season here in Minnesota, but we do what we can to try to provide our own things, I guess you'd say.
That's fantastic. It's so exciting. Now I see why so many people just love your blog. And I have checked it out and seen what great tips you have for people. So if you're out there and you're looking to get in this and just try it, go and read her articles. She's got so many incredible articles, great tips. It's just fantastic. So I'm kind of curious. I know you took a break from it for a little bit, and then you went back into it and you went full force, and it's so successful. I'm kind of curious, how has this success with your blog changed you or changed for you?
Well, I was actually, I was unexpectedly laid off in June. So this has actually given me a lot more time. I have another project I'm working on as well, because to become a successful blogger that actually makes a lot of money takes a lot longer than what I've put into it so far. So successful has kind of two different meanings. There's successful traffic-wise, and then there's successful as far as actually making income from your blog. So I'm not quite there to where my blog's, you know, making me lots of money yet. So it's not the only thing I'm working on, but since I was laid off in June, it's given me more time to get it to where it needs to be. I've actually been doing a lot of work on the back end, cleaning up some old things, working on behind the scenes things that you can't actually see. If you look at my blog, you'll see I've only published 1 or 2 posts here in the last month, which is a lot less than what I should be doing. But I've been working on some other things that are also really important on the back end. So.
Oh yeah, there's a lot people don't realize that goes on behind the scenes. It's almost like back in the day with your major newspapers, or even like putting on a television show or a movie. There's so much going on behind the scenes just to put out that article. It's not just a slam dunk when you put out a blog. There's a lot of work to it. And I love that you pointed out the fact that there's different definitions of success, different ways to view success. And we totally believe that here. So one of the things I have seen are that people who take a hold of something, whether it's going to be an additional business or whatnot for them or not, blogging can help people become more successful because it's a great outlet. It's a great stress reducer. It's a way to get messages out. And again, whether it's going to help others and you grow traffic, or it's going to make you money, or something in between, or whatever you deem is successful for you, that's important to keep in mind. And yours is fantastic. It really is great. So you just keep that up. It's pretty awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what do you wish now that you're an advanced blogger, a bloggist, right? You're moving into that bloggist. Bloggists are people that do blogging and they make money. So now that you're more advanced, what is it that you wish you would have known before you started off being a blogger that you do know now?
Well, we already talked about the moving my site, accidentally to WordPress.com first. So that would be the first thing, of course, I'd recommend, or, wish I had known. The other thing I think is really important as a blogger is all of the networking that you can do with other bloggers that are out there. There's all kinds of groups on Facebook and other social, well, mainly Facebook actually. You can also meet people on LinkedIn, but
Sure.
There's just so many awesome blogging groups on Facebook, and everybody's really helpful. You can not only ask them questions if you get stuck and learn things from them, but it's also a great way to support each other's blogs too.
Absolutely. I mean, usually the best groups are the ones that encourage everybody to post up whatever it is, their page, their blog, or whatnot, and then they encourage people to follow it who are, interested in that topic or whatnot. So those are great. And to be able to collaborate and bounce ideas, it's a really great thing, because you just keep learning, right?
That's right.
Learning and sharing, learning and sharing. It's what makes you more successful. Well, as always, at Let's Talk Shop, we have a part of the show where we talk about success tips. So I want to dive into your success tips. So first of all, what is your favorite business tool?
Actually, I recently found a business tool called Trello.com, Trello. And it's actually like a project management software. It's free. You can buy a paid version if you have a larger company or more users, but I'm actually just using the free version because it's just me. And you can go in and set up different boards basically for different projects. So I have one for my blog. I have one for another project I have one for one of my husband's projects. So I go in there and I have all these boards, and so then depending on what tasks I need to get done for each project, I can set up tasks, and then on the individual tasks you can have checklists, due dates, you can attach files. I just have started using it like a month ago, and it's really been awesome actually.
Really? Do you find that it's saving you a lot of time because you're able to stay focused on the different aspects of your projects?
It is saving me a lot of time because before I had things kind of everywhere. I had some things stored in my email. I had some things saved in my Facebook. I had things in a notes app on my phone. I had checklists written around my computer, so it's really helped me kind of put everything all in one place.
Oh, that sounds like a dream come true. I'm totally checking that out. That is like my kind of program right there. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, can't wait. Can you backwards plan and all that with it? Like if you have a project and you can say, okay, this is my due date. Now I'm going to work backwards on what I do. And then does it overlay with other projects?
It lets you really, you can have unlimited number of tasks per board. So, okay. And you can have different checklists within each task too. It's kind of complicated, I guess, to talk about without showing you, but it's really flexible from what I've seen as far as what you can all do with it.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. That's just totally up my alley. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers' alleys too. So yay, anything to help us be more successful. So I know you were telling me a little bit about your favorite book, and I know you don't have a whole lot of time to read, but you were sharing a little bit about your favorite book. So go ahead and share with our viewers.
Sure, yeah. Recently I read a book called Everybody Always by Bob Goff, Goff. He was actually recommended by Jen Hatmaker. And he's just a really cool guy, really inspirational. He doesn't write about, self-help, business success tips, things like that, but he basically writes about how important it is in life to treat everybody kindly, especially the ones that aren't kind to you. So my takeaway from it was inspirational. It's a really great book. He actually put his cell phone number in the back cover of the book, so anybody who wanted to call him and talk could call him. I thought that was pretty awesome. So. Oh
my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And brave.
Right.
Right. Sorry, everybody, I'm not putting out my cell phone number. I don't want to be up all night long. You?
No.
But you can email me.
Right.
Then we can get it when we wake up and then respond, right?
Right.
Sleep is important for success. Okay, so I know we've probably got a bunch of people out there that are interested in starting a blog, or maybe have just started one and they're kind of like trying to just get the lay of the land. What would be some advice you have for beginner bloggers?
Well, actually I'm working on, I did create a freebie that's going to be available to anybody here who's watching. Just some things I've learned, kind of a checklist. It's not going to be comprehensive because I don't think a comprehensive guide is actually possible, but I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned along the way that hopefully will help people that want to start out a blog. I think it's important to know too, you don't have to have a blog and have it just be your blog website. You can actually add a blog to any website that you have. And it's actually a really great tool to help your SEO and build you in the search results for your company's website. So pretty much no matter what your company is, you can find things to blog about in your marketing department, or depending on how large you are. But there's always things that you could blog about, and it's really good to keep that fresh content on your website.
So, I mean, you're right on the money with that, absolutely. And those of us in that industry, we've learned, and a lot of it has been from starting off on blogs. It has really honed our skills with SEOs, making sure that we're getting our branding out there, getting our names out there, anything we can to bump us up in the search engines so that we're more readily accessible. We're seen faster, and it's so important. I'm glad you mentioned that. So overall, what would be your biggest success tip for everybody?
Well, I guess kind of going back to the Trello.com, I think the most important thing is to get organized and stay organized. If you, with a blog, with any business really, there's hundreds of things that need to be done, and you have to prioritize, because I find myself too, even though I do have everything organized with due dates and priorities and stuff, I still find myself kind of jumping around sometimes, because you're like, oh, I'm just going to go do this little thing real quick and that little thing real quick. And then before you know it, 3 hours have gone by, and yeah, you got all this little stuff done, but you still haven't written your post, and that was what you really wanted to get done today. So
your number one priority.
So I think finding a way to get organized and stay organized, will really help you keep on task, no matter what your business is.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I believe you were sharing that as a result of all this, it has led you down some paths to new successes in different areas, right? So don't you have some new projects and everything that are coming about in the marketing arena?
I do, yeah. In addition to my blog, I actually launched a digital marketing company in June after I was laid off. So I'm doing that. I'm starting out locally, promoting myself with local businesses to try to help them with social media management and email marketing and things like that. I live in a small rural area, so I'm hoping to be able to help some of the small businesses here with what they need marketing wise.
That's going to be so great for your community and for you. And again, it all started from blogging. There's so many great things that blogging can do for you people. Seriously, it can be a stress reducer. It can help build success for your business. It can build exposure for you and your business. There's just so many great reasons to blog. And Darcy, I think, will agree with me that we share with our clients on a regular basis. Blog, 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 because you can turn those blogs into so much more. You can get a huge bang for your buck, whether it's just for that stress reducer or if it's for your business and you want to use those to break apart and use them in posts on your social media to drive traffic to you. So many great reasons to blog. So I'm so thrilled that you were with us today, Darcy, and shared about your amazing blog. Thank you so much. And for those of you, oh, you're welcome. And for those of you that are interested in being a guest on Let's Talk Shop, please contact us today. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.